Jisoo stared at the numbers on her screen. They were wrong. Or rather, they shouldn't be possible. She ran her hand through her short black hair and checked the data again. This can't be right, she whispered to herself. The quantum lab was quiet at this late hour. Most of her coworkers had gone home. Only the hum of machines kept her company. Jisoo liked it this way. No one to look at her with doubt. No one to talk over her. At 24, Jisoo was the youngest researcher at Korea's top quantum physics lab. Her mind could solve problems that confused even the older scientists, but no one seemed to notice or care. She took a deep breath and looked at the readings again. The quantum field had a strange pattern. It showed waves where there should be none. These waves suggested something big was coming, something that could hurt Earth. Jisoo printed her findings and gathered her notes. Director Ta needed to see this right away, even if he never took her seriously. And that concludes my presentation on the new particle accelerator design, said Dr. Lee, an older man with gray hair and glasses. The meeting room was filled with the top scientists of the lab. They all clapped as Dr. Lee sat down. Director Ta nodded with approval. Excellent work as always, Dr. Lee. This will put our lab years ahead of the competition. Jisoo sat quietly in the corner. She had asked to present her findings at the end of the meeting. Her heart beat fast as she waited for her turn. I believe that covers everything for today, Director Ta said, closing his folder. Jisoo raised her hand. Excuse me, Director Ta. I was scheduled to present my findings. The director looked at her with slight annoyance. Ah, yes. Jisoo, we're running behind schedule. Can this wait until next week? No, sir. I found something unusual in the quantum field readings. I think it's important. Director Ta sighed. Very well. 5 minutes. Jisoo quickly walked to the front of the room. She connected her tablet to the big screen and showed her data. These readings show unusual waves in the quantum field. The pattern suggests some kind of disturbance is approaching Earth. It's unlike anything we've seen before. Dr. Han, her direct supervisor, frowned. Jisoo, quantum fields always have random fluctuations. This looks normal to me. No, it's not normal, Jisoo insisted. Look at the pattern. It repeats every 3.7 seconds. Natural fluctuations don't do that. Director Ta checked his watch. Jisoo, we appreciate your enthusiasm, but this seems like a basic monitoring error. Have you checked if the equipment is working properly? Jisoo felt her face grow hot. Yes, sir. I checked 3 different systems. They all showed the same pattern. Perhaps you should focus on your assigned projects instead of looking for problems that aren't there, said Director Ta. Dr. Park needs help with the radiation analysis. But, sir, thank you, Jisoo. That will be all for today. Director Ta cut her off. Meeting adjourned. The scientists gathered their things and left the room, talking among themselves. No one mentioned Jisoo's findings. No one asked to see her data. It was as if she hadn't spoken at all. Dr. Han patted her shoulder as he walked by. Don't worry. We all make mistakes when we start out. You'll get better at reading the data. Jisoo stood alone in the empty meeting room. She looked at her tablet, at the strange wave pattern that no one believed was real. They're wrong, she whispered. Something is coming. She walked back to her small desk in the corner of the lab. While everyone else went home, Jisoo stayed. She connected more sensors and expanded her search. The waves were getting stronger. Whatever was causing them was getting closer, and only Jisoo seemed to notice or care. She took a deep breath and made a decision. If no one would listen to her, she would have to find proof they couldn't ignore, even if it meant breaking some rules along the way. 1 week after the meeting, strange things began to happen around the world. Jisoo sat in her small apartment, watching the news on her tablet. Reports showed power outages in major cities. Compasses pointed in wrong directions. Birds flew in circles, confused about where to go. It's starting, she whispered to herself. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from the lab about coming in early. Something was wrong with the equipment. When Jisoo arrived at the lab, people rushed around in panic. Computers showed strange readings. The main quantum scanner kept shutting down. Jisoo, fix your station, Dr. Han called out. All our readings are wrong today. Jisoo checked her equipment. My station is working fine, Dr. Han. These readings are real. That's impossible, he said, looking over her shoulder. The quantum field can't be this active. It's the same pattern I showed last week, Jisoo said quietly, but stronger now. Dr. Han frowned. Let's not jump to conclusions. Run a full system check. Jisoo nodded, but she knew the system was fine. The problem was not in the machines. It was coming from space. That night, Jisoo stayed late again. The lab was empty except for the night guard who knew her well. Working late again, Jisoo? He asked with a kind smile. Yes, Mr. Kim. Important research. After he walked away, Jisoo connected her special equipment. She had built a better quantum sensor at home, using parts from old machines. It was small but much more sensitive than the lab's big machines. Her sensor picked up something new. A clear signal, like a pulse. It came every 42 seconds, exactly the same each time. Not natural, Jisoo whispered. This is communication. She recorded the signal for hours. It grew stronger as the night went on. Whatever was sending it was getting closer to Earth. Jisoo needed to tell someone who would listen. Dr. Han might be her best chance, even though he had doubted her before. The next morning, Jisoo knocked on Dr. Han's office door. Come in, he called. Jisoo entered with her tablet and sensor. Dr. Han, I need to show you something important. He looked tired. Jisoo, we're very busy today. The equipment problems are not equipment problems, she interrupted. Look at this. She played the recording of the signal. Dr. Han listened with a frown. What am I hearing? A signal from space. It repeats exactly every 42 seconds. Nature doesn't make perfect patterns like this. Dr. Han shook his head. Jisoo, you're overworked. These late nights are affecting your judgment. Please, Jisoo said, just look at the data. Enough, Dr. Han said firmly. Go home and rest. Take the day off. Jisoo felt her chest tighten. No one would listen. The strange events worldwide are connected to this signal. She tried one last time. The power outages, the compass problems. Are you saying aliens are causing power outages? Dr. Han laughed. Jisoo, I'm worried about you. Go home. That's an order. Jisoo left his office with her head down. In the hallway, she overheard Director Tad talking on the phone. Yes, Minister. We don't know what's causing the disturbances. No, our equipment shows nothing unusual. Jisoo walked faster. If the government was asking questions, things were getting serious. She needed better proof. Back at her desk, she packed her sensor and notes into her bag. If the lab wouldn't help her, she would work alone. As she left the building, her sensor beeped loudly. The signal had changed. Jisoo looked at the reading and gasped. The new pattern was clear. Something massive was moving between dimensions, preparing to enter our world. And it was heading straight for Earth. 3 days after detecting the signal, Jisoo sat in her small apartment surrounded by equipment. Her walls were covered with charts and data. She had not slept much. Her eyes were tired, but her mind raced. Her sensor beeped loudly. Jisoo jumped up and checked the reading. Something had just entered Earth's orbit. It's here, she whispered. She turned on the news. Nothing. No reports of anything unusual in space. How could they not see it? Jisoo knew why. The visitor was not fully in our dimension. It existed partly in another reality, making it invisible to normal sensors. But Jisoo's sensor was different. She had designed it to detect quantum shifts between dimensions, and it was screaming now. At the Korea Space Defense Division headquarters, Commander Da looked at the reports with concern. 3 satellites had failed in the last hour. Something was wrong. Any explanation? He asked his team. Captain Su shook her head. No, sir. They just stopped working. No damage detected. What about other countries? Any similar problems? Yes, sir. Japan lost 2 satellites. America lost 5. It's happening worldwide. Commander Day frowned. This is not normal. Schedule an emergency meeting with all division heads. Ji-Soo knew about the government meeting. Her friend Hyun worked in the building's IT department and had told her. She also knew they would not find answers with their regular equipment. Ji-Soo made a bold decision. She would show them what she knew. Using Hyun's access code, Ji-Soo hacked into the video conference. When Commander Dai and the division heads appeared on screen, they suddenly saw Ji-Soo's face pop up on their monitors. Who are you? Commander Day demanded. This is a secure meeting. My name is Ji-Soo. I work at the National Quantum Research Lab. I know what's happening to your satellites. The room fell silent. Commander Day leaned forward. Explain. Ji-Soo showed them her data. An alien scout ship has entered Earth's orbit. It exists partly in another dimension, which is why you can't see it. An alien ship. Someone laughed. That's ridiculous. The ship is absorbing energy from our satellites. Ji-Soo continued. But that's not the worst part. My readings show a much larger fleet is preparing to follow. They're preparing for invasion. Commander Day's face hardened. Do you have proof of these claims? Ji-Soo sent her data files. These readings show dimensional shifting that can't be explained by any natural phenomenon. The scientists in the room studied her data. Most looked confused. This could be anything. One said, solar flares, cosmic radiation. It's not. Ji-Soo insisted. Look at the pattern. It's clearly artificial. And it matches exactly with each satellite failure. Commander Day raised his hand for silence. Miss Ji-Soo, how did you access this meeting? Ji-Soo hesitated. That's not important. What matters is. It is important. Commander Day interrupted. You've committed a serious security breach. This meeting is classified. But the invasion. Security, trace this connection and send officers to detain this woman. Commander Day ordered. This meeting is suspended until we resolve this breach. Ji-Soo's connection was cut. She stared at her blank screen in shock. They didn't listen, she whispered. Again. Her sensor beeped with a new alert. The scout ship was scanning Earth, collecting information. The invasion preparations had begun. Ji-Soo packed her equipment quickly. Security officers would arrive soon. She needed to leave. As she rushed out, her phone rang. It was Hyun. Ji-Soo, what did you do? The whole building is looking for you. I had to try, Ji-Soo said. They need to know what's coming. Come to my place, Hyun said. You can hide here while we figure out what to do. Ji-Soo hurried through the streets, carrying her precious sensor. The scout ship was only the beginning. The real danger was still coming. And no one was ready. You did what? Hyun stared at Ji-Soo with wide eyes. They sat in his small apartment, surrounded by computers. I had to tell them, Ji-Soo said. No one at the lab would listen. Hyun ran his hands through his hair. Ji-Soo, you could go to prison for hacking the government meeting. That won't matter if the aliens invade. Ji-Soo connected her sensor to Hyun's main computer. I need your help. Hyun was Ji-Soo's only real friend. They had met at university. While Ji-Soo studied quantum physics, Hyun focused on computer science. He was the best hacker she knew. What can I do? He asked. I need more data. Can you help me access satellite feeds and radio telescopes? Hyun hesitated, then nodded. I can try. For the next few hours, they worked side by side. Hyun broke into systems around the world, while Ji-Soo analyzed the data. Look at this, Ji-Soo pointed to her screen. All these energy spikes match the pattern of dimensional shifting. What does that mean? Hyun asked. It means more ships are coming. Many more. Jisoo's face was grim. They're gathering just outside our dimension, preparing to break through. Hyun looked pale. How can you be sure they're hostile? The scout ship is mapping our defenses and power grids. They're planning an attack. Suddenly, Jisoo sat up straight. Wait, I see something new. She studied the readings closely. The ships are all using the same quantum frequency to shift between dimensions. That's how they move between realities. And that helps us how? Hyun asked. If we can disrupt that specific frequency, we might stop them from fully entering our dimension. Jisoo began writing equations on a tablet. We could create a quantum field disruptor. Can you build something like that? A small prototype, yes. But to affect their entire fleet, I would need access to the lab's main quantum accelerator. Jisoo looked up, and they're not going to let me anywhere near it now. Commander Dai watched the satellite footage with growing concern. Strange lights had appeared in the sky over remote areas. They flickered in and out of existence, impossible to track. Any word on the woman who hacked our meeting? He asked. We identified her, sir, Captain Su reported. Jisoo Kim, researcher at the National Quantum Lab. We have officers looking for her now. Commander Day nodded. What about her claims? Any truth to them? Our scientists say her data is unusual but inconclusive. They don't see evidence of alien ships. As if in response, the lights on the monitors flickered. Alarms began to sound. Sir, an officer called out. We're getting reports of massive objects appearing in the upper atmosphere. They're showing up on radar for a few seconds, then disappearing. Commander Dai stared at the screens. Where? Everywhere, sir, all around the planet. In Hyun's apartment, Jisoo was building her prototype disruptor using parts from old computers and electronics. Her hands moved quickly, connecting wires and circuits. It's happening faster than I thought, she said. The fleet is starting to phase into our dimension. Hyun looked up from his computer. Jisoo, look at this. The news showed chaos around the world. Strange lights in the sky. Power grids failing. People panicking. We need to finish this now, Jisoo said, working faster. The small device began to hum. It wasn't powerful enough to stop the invasion, but it might disrupt a single ship. Enough to prove her theory. It's ready, she said, just as her sensor alarm blared louder than ever before. Hyun pointed to his window. Outside, a massive shadow appeared in the sky, flickering like a bad hologram. They're here, Jisoo whispered. The first wave has begun. Chaos spread across the world. The alien ships appeared and disappeared in the sky. When they became solid, they fired strange weapons that shut down power in entire cities. People ran in fear. In Korea, the military tried to fight back. Jets flew toward the alien ships, but most couldn't even see their targets clearly. The few missiles that hit did no damage. The aliens were still partly in another dimension, making them hard to hurt. Commander Day stood in the crisis center, watching screens show disasters around the world. His phone rang. Commander, this is the President's office. He wants a solution now. We're trying everything, sir. Our weapons aren't effective. What about the woman? The one who warned us? Commander Day paused. Jisoo Kim. We're still looking for her. Find her. Now. Jisoo and Hyun drove toward the quantum lab in his small car. The prototype disruptor sat in her lap, humming softly. This is crazy, Hyun said. They'll arrest us both. We have no choice, Jisoo replied. We need the lab's main accelerator to power this device properly. The streets were nearly empty. Most people stayed inside, afraid of the strange ships in the sky. Military vehicles rushed past them. Jisoo's phone rang. It was a number she didn't know. Hello, Miss Kim. This is Commander Da. Jisoo's heart jumped. How did you get this number? That doesn't matter. Where are you? Why should I tell you? So you can arrest me. There was a pause. No, because I need your help. We all do. At the lab, armed guards stood at every door. They let Jisoo and Han enter when Commander Day called ahead. Inside, Director Ta waited with an angry face. What is she doing here? He demanded. She broke into a government meeting and spread panic with crazy theories. Theories that appear to be true, Commander Day said calmly. Miss Kim, please explain your plan. Jisoo placed her prototype on the table. This is a quantum field disruptor. It targets the specific frequency the aliens use to phase between dimensions. And it will do what exactly? Director Tai asked with doubt in his voice. It will force them fully into our dimension. They won't be able to hide or phase out when attacked. Jisoo looked at Commander Da. Your weapons will work on them then. How do we know this isn't just another wild theory? Director Ta crossed his arms. Because I'd already tested a very small version, Jisoo said. It worked on a piece of alien technology I found. She took out a small metal object that glowed and flickered. This fell from one of their ships. Watch. Jisoo turned on her prototype. The object stopped flickering and became solid. When she turned the prototype off, the object began to flicker again. Commander Day leaned forward. How big can you make this device? With the lab's main quantum accelerator, I could cover the whole city. Maybe the country. We need to cover the whole world, Commander Day said. Director Ta laughed. That's impossible. Our system doesn't have that kind of power. We could connect to other quantum labs around the world, Jisoo suggested. Create a network. Commander Day nodded. I'll speak to the president. He can contact other world leaders. This is absurd, Director Ta protested. You're going to trust the fate of the world to this girl. Do you have a better idea? Commander Day asked sharply. Director Ta had no answer. I need access to the main system, Jisoo said, and I need Dr. Han and the rest of the team to help. You'll have whatever you need, Commander Day promised. Just hurry. Outside, more alien ships appeared in the sky. Buildings shook. Time was running out. Jisoo looked at her small prototype. Could she really scale it up enough to save the world? She had to try. It was their only hope. The quantum lab buzzed with activity. Scientists who once ignored Jisoo now listened to her every word. They worked fast to connect her prototype to the main quantum accelerator. The power coupling needs to be stronger, Jisoo told Dr. Han. This connection won't hold. Dr. Han nodded and fixed it without question. Like this? Yes, that's better. Jisoo moved to the main control panel. Hyun, how's the programming? Hyun typed quickly at a computer. Almost done. I'm setting it to target the exact frequency you found. Outside, the situation grew worse. Half the city had lost power. The alien ships appeared more solid now, as if they were fully entering our world. Their weapons caused more damage. Commander Day entered the lab, his uniform dusty. The president has contacted other countries. Japan and America are ready to connect their quantum labs to ours. Good, Jisoo said. We'll need all the power we can get. Director Todd pushed his way into the room. This is taking too long. I should be leading this project. Jisoo knows her system best, Commander Day said firmly. She's just a junior researcher, Director Tay argued. I've been working with quantum physics for 30 years. But you didn't see what was coming, Jisoo said quietly. You didn't believe me when I warned you. Director Tay's face turned red. How dare you speak to me that way? Commander, I insist that I take control of this project now. Jisoo stood up straight. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel small or shy. She looked Director Tai in the eyes. With all respect, Director, you don't understand how the aliens are using quantum fields to shift between dimensions. I do. There's no time for you to learn what I already know. The room fell silent. Everyone stared at Jisoo in surprise. She had never spoken so boldly before. Commander Dai stepped forward. Director Ta, Ji-Su stays in charge. That's an order from the president himself. Director Ta looked like he wanted to argue more, but instead he stormed out of the room. Ji-Su took a deep breath and turned back to her work. We need to finish the power connections. Then we can test it on a small scale. The team worked for 2 more hours. Scientists from around the world joined by video call, helping to connect their systems to Ji-Su's design. Finally, the device was ready for a small test. Ji-Su checked every connection one last time. This will only cover a 1-mile area, she explained to Commander Da. If it works, we can expand it. Do it, he said. Ji-Su pressed the start button. The quantum accelerator hummed louder. Energy flowed through the system into her device. A soft blue light began to glow around it. On the monitors, they watched as a small alien ship near the lab suddenly became completely solid. It no longer flickered in and out of reality. It's working, Hyun shouted. A military jet flew over and fired a missile at the alien ship. This time, the missile hit, and the ship exploded. Cheers filled the lab. Ji-Su allowed herself a small smile. Now we need to make it bigger, she said. Much bigger. As they worked to increase the power, an alarm sounded. The lab shook violently. What's happening? Commander Day asked. A soldier rushed in. Sir, the aliens are attacking the lab directly. They must know what we're doing. Another explosion rocked the building. Part of the ceiling fell in. We need to protect the device, Ji-Su said. If it's destroyed, we can't stop them. Commander Day called for more soldiers. How much longer until it can cover the whole country? Ji-Su checked the system. 2 hours, maybe less. We'll hold them off, Commander Day promised. Just keep working. As another explosion shook the lab, Ji-Su wondered if they would have 2 hours. The race against time had become even more desperate. Soldiers surrounded the lab, firing at the alien ships that now focused their attack on the building. The walls shook with each blast. Dust fell from the ceiling. Inside, Ji-Su and her team worked faster than ever. They had connected to quantum labs in Japan, America, and Europe. Power flowed into their system from around the world. Power levels at 60%, Hyun called out. The connections are holding. Ji-Su didn't look up from her work. We need at least 80% for a countrywide effect. Dr. Han approached her. Ji-Su, I owe you an apology. I should have listened to you from the beginning. It doesn't matter now, Ji-Su said. We just need to make this work. Commander Day entered, his face dirty from dust and smoke. The aliens have landed troops outside. Our soldiers can't hold them back much longer. We need more time, Ji-Su said. There is no more time, Commander Day replied. Can you use what power you have now, even on a smaller scale? Ji-Su thought quickly. Yes, we can create a version that affects one ship at a time, like a weapon. Do it, Commander Day ordered. Ji-Su and Hyun quickly modified their design. Instead of creating a large field, they focused the energy into a narrow beam. Dr. Han helped connect it to a portable power source. It's not perfect, Ji-Su warned, but it should work on one ship at a time. Better than nothing, Commander Day said. He called to his officers. Get this loaded onto a jet. Target the largest alien ship you can find. Soldiers carefully moved the device. As they carried it out, Director Tai appeared in the doorway. He looked strange, his eyes unfocused. Stop them, he said in a flat voice. Director Tai, move aside, Commander Day ordered. The visitors must not be harmed. Director Ta pulled out a gun. They are here to help us. Everyone froze. Ji-Su stared at Director Tai in shock. He's being controlled, she whispered to Commander Da. The aliens must be influencing his mind somehow. Put the gun down, Commander Day said calmly to Director Ta. The device must be destroyed. Director Ta pointed the gun at the quantum disruptor. Without thinking, Ji-Su stepped between the gun and the device. Director Tay, please. This isn't you. For a moment, Director Tai seemed confused. His hand shook. Then his face hardened again. Move aside. A soldier tackled Director Tai from behind. The gun fired, hitting the ceiling. Soldiers quickly took Director Tai away. Get the device to the jet now, Commander Dai shouted. High above the city, a fighter jet carried Jisu's quantum disruptor. The pilot received coordinates of the largest alien ship. Target in sight, the pilot reported. It's huge, at least half a mile long. In the command center, Jisu and the others watched on screens. The pilot activated the device. A blue beam shot out, hitting the alien ship. At first, nothing happened. Then the ship stopped flickering. It became fully solid in our dimension. It's working, Hyun shouted. Commander Dae grabbed his radio. All units, fire on the main ship. Now. Jets and ground forces fired everything they had at the alien ship. Missiles hit their target. Explosions erupted across the ship's surface. The massive alien vessel began to fall from the sky. It crashed into the ocean, sending huge waves in all directions. Cheers filled the command center. Jisoo let out a breath she didn't know she was holding. One down, Commander Dae said. But there are hundreds more. We need the full-scale version. Jisoo nodded. Now that we know it works, we can finish the main device, but we'll need to protect the lab better. You'll have every soldier I can spare, Commander Dae promised. As they headed back to the lab, Jisoo's mind raced with calculations and plans. They had proven her theory correct. Now they needed to save the entire world, not just one city. And they had very little time left. The massive holographic display filled the entire conference room. Yeonji stood in the center, her fingers moving quickly across a floating interface that seemed to breathe with living data. Around her, the world's top military leaders, scientists, and diplomats watched in complete silence. The Krell's communication matrix appeared as a complex web of shifting colors and patterns. Where hours ago these patterns had been incomprehensible, now they told a story of desperation, loneliness, and a deep hunger for connection. They're not invaders, Yeonji said softly, her voice cutting through the tension. They're explorers who have been searching for someone to understand them for thousands of years. Ambassador Park Sung-min stepped forward. His usual diplomatic composure was replaced by a look of pure amazement. Explain, he demanded. Yeonji's fingers danced across the interface. Holographic images began to appear, snapshots of the Krell's history. Lonely spacecraft drifting through endless space. Countless attempts to communicate with other civilizations, repeated failures that had slowly transformed into anger and aggression. Every time they tried to make contact, Yeonji explained, their communication methods were so different that other species saw them as a threat. They developed a defense mechanism. When they feel rejected, they attack. It's not invasion. It's a trauma response. The military commanders looked skeptical. General Lee Hyun-woo, a veteran with dozens of conflict resolution missions under his belt, stepped forward. Are you telling us, he said slowly, that we can stop a technological invasion by talking? The holographic display shifted. A complex linguistic pattern emerged. Part language, part mathematical equation, part emotional signature. It was Eunji's breakthrough algorithm in action. Not just talking, she responded. Understanding. The Krell's lead communicator appeared on the screen. Where previous interactions had been filled with sharp angles and threatening postures, now there was something different. Vulnerability. Curiosity. Through Yeonji's algorithm, translation happened instantly. The Krell spoke. We have wandered. We have searched. We have been alone. Ambassador Park looked at Yeonji. She nodded, guiding the translation. We hear you, she responded through the algorithm. You are not alone anymore. The room held its breath. Decades of human conflict resolution, centuries of diplomatic training, all seemed to fade against the raw, simple human connection that Yeonji had created. The Krell's communication patterns began to change. The threatening red and aggressive purple tones slowly dissolved into softer blues and greens. Their massive ships, which had been positioned to destroy Earth's major cities, began to shift their trajectories. General Lee whispered to a nearby communications officer, "Record everything. Every single moment." Yunji continued to work, her algorithm acting like a bridge between two completely different forms of intelligence. She wasn't just translating words. She was translating entire worlds of experience, of emotion, of understanding. "They want to share knowledge," she said suddenly. "Not conquer. Share." The diplomats exchanged glances. The military leaders looked confused. But something was changing. Something fundamental. Outside the conference room, the massive Krell ships that had threatened Earth's destruction were now hovering peacefully. Their threatening energy had transformed into something else, something that looked remarkably like hope. Yunji smiled. The girl they had ignored had just changed everything. 6 months after the first contact, the world looked different. Yunji Park sat in her small laboratory, surrounded by equipment that looked both familiar and completely alien. The walls were covered with complex diagrams, half human science, half Krell communication patterns. Outside her window, a joint human-Krell research station took shape. What was once a potential battlefield was now becoming a center of shared learning. People walked between buildings that mixed human and alien architecture, wearing uniforms that blended both cultures. Dr. Kim Jae-sung entered the lab. He looked different now. The arrogance that once defined him had been replaced by something closer to humility. "We need your input," he said, placing a stack of research documents on her desk. Yunji looked up. Her eyes were tired but bright. The past months had been a whirlwind of discovery, negotiation, and constant work. Her communication algorithm had become the foundation of a new type of interspecies understanding. "The Krell want to share their quantum energy storage technology," Dr. Kim continued. "But there are still communication challenges." She nodded. The work was never finished. Each breakthrough opened up 10 new questions. That was the beauty of discovery. The global news played silently on a screen in the corner. Images showed the first joint human-Krell scientific expedition preparing to launch. School children were learning basic Krell communication patterns. The world had changed more in 6 months than in the previous 6 decades. A small device on her desk began to glow. It was a communication tool she had designed, a bridge between human and Krell technologies. The device translated not just words, but intentions, emotions, and complex scientific concepts. "They're struggling with our concept of individual creativity," Yunji said, more to herself than to Dr. Kim. "The Krell think collectively. Individual innovation is hard for them to understand." Dr. Kim sat down. For the first time, he looked at Yunji with genuine respect. "How do we help them understand?" he asked. She pulled out a series of diagrams. Her fingers traced lines that showed how individual human thoughts could connect and grow. It was a visual language that bridged 2 completely different ways of thinking. Outside, a Krell research partner walked past the window. Its body was nothing like a human, all sharp angles and shifting colors. But it moved with a purpose that was now familiar. They were learning. Together. The global economy was transforming. Krell technology was helping solve human energy problems. Human creativity was teaching the Krell about individual innovation. Trade routes were being established. Cultural exchanges were happening. Yunji thought about her journey. Just months ago, she had been the person nobody listened to. Now she was building bridges between species. "We're just beginning," she said quietly. Dr. Kim looked at her. For a moment, the old hierarchies seemed ridiculous. "Yes," he agreed. "We are just beginning." The communication device on her desk pulsed. A message from the Krell research team. Another problem to solve. Another opportunity to understand. Yunji smiled and began to work. The world outside her window continued to change. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge, and in the end, It wasn't weapons or military might that saved them. It was understanding. It was communication. It was the power of listening to voices that had been ignored for too long. A new chapter had begun.